And he said, great, come over now, because we're rehearsing your scenes, and you start tomorrow. And I was like, woo! So that's in movie theaters, and today, woo! I'm gonna beat this dead horse upstairs.
We're doing burlesque.
Leonardo means dead horse that is beaten, is what it's.
Long live horse. And Mr. Lenk, for you as well, how did Joss?
Well, higher. You get up to C, high C.
How did Joss approach you for this?
Be serious. I got an email, and I think it was about like 2 sentences long, and then my reply was like, do you want to do this? And I just said yes, and then panicked about it later. And I'm sure they're sick of hearing me say it, but I actually got a C in my Shakespeare performance class at UCLA, senior year.
We're working out some demons here, people.
Yeah. So I didn't tell him that in my initial reply. I just said yes, panicked about it, and kept that little shameful secret. And I had all my lines written on little note cards because I was terrified I was going to forget them. And I had no idea what they meant. I think I had a... Yeah! Woo! I had a mental Shakespeare block that I think perhaps Joss unlocked. So thank you.
I'm here for you, Tom. And who came up with the jacket gag with Nathan?
Well, our jackets were hanging there, and I don't know.
I think the coat racks. I got close to both of you. I just remember going, the jacket gag? We're going that route? And then realizing that I was the dumb person in the room.
Large man in a tiny coat works every time. I think though that I should get the credit for that because it was my tiny coat from my own closet that was ripped in the armpit by Mr. Fillion.
Comedy sacrifice.
I'm gonna eBay that costume, raise some money for charity. Boom.
Lord knows there's no slapstick before that.
And Alexis, how did you guys choreograph the eavesdropping scene?
How did we choreograph that?
Well, some of it was very specific. Be here, do this, you know.
Yeah, you knew where the cameras were going to be.
There was at least one where when Don Pedro turns and you have to duck out, but how he was going to do that, I had no idea.
I think the shoulder roll I just threw in. I think the falling backwards again. The shrub we asked for, right?
Yeah,
we were
the
like,
side thing was you.
Yeah.
Coming in from the side.
It was kind of, you know, quickly the Rolodex of cheap gags. Oh yeah, that one.
Okay. My favorite is the toddler in the cart seat where you. Is that what
I'm
that's
still getting
called?
chiropractic treatment for that.
There was a point at which he's like, this thing where I rolled into frame is hilarious. Do you have it yet?
I did say to him, Joss, ow.
Could you hear what they were saying? Like, how did you know?
Frankly, no. No, it was a guess, and then I think he was being very clever about how he put it together so that it linked up. I mean, I had read it and knew, you know, to be honest, of course I knew what they were saying. I just didn't know when they were saying it because I couldn't hear.
And Clark, how did you keep a straight face with Alexis just jumping all around behind you?
Wait, you could see me? God, you're good. You're so good.
That was where years and years of craft came in, because it was the most difficult thing I've maybe ever had to do when I saw the shrub go up. Get a glass of wine just to do the spit take.
And Amy, are you okay when you did your jump down the stairs? Like, did you survive that? How did that work?
I may or may not have gone to get an MRI a few years, a few months later. No, I think that was a different incident altogether.
It's so worth it because what we were paid on this movie is going to cover. Ooh.
No, I'm good. Luckily, there was a mat, so that was good.
We could afford a mat,
splurged
that's true.
on the stunt.
That was our stunt day. We had a stunt man there going, please don't die.
So, Joss, one of the things that's really great about this is that there's a lot of lightness and a lot of comedy, but you also really dive into the sort of darkness in the piece. What did you, like, as you did this so quickly, how sort of conscious were you of making sure that you were maintaining that balance? Were you just sort of going?
Well, the darkness is, I mean, that's what made it click for me, because I've always found it very charming. I've always found it very funny. It wasn't until I saw not just the darkness, but how much it was a reflection of the light, how much they were the same story as a comedy and tragedy, that I really became fascinated. The thing is, all I did was film it. All I did was try and populate it with people who would really embody and enrich the roles they had, and then point the cameras at them. I didn't try to maintain a tone or rhythm beyond what he was doing. Obviously, I made cuts according to, because it's a very long play, I had to cut about a third of it, according to shape it somewhat to my own rhythmic ends. But after that, it's Shakespeare. He's going to go for a long time in this direction. He's going to be very dramatic for a long time. He's going to get total slaps. He's going to do it, and you have to just go, okay, it's your game. And it was just a question of making sure everything registered. Because a lot of productions, I think, will play it as a two-hander and say Beatrice and Benedict are wonderful, and if you can sit through everything else, you get to see them. And for me, it's like, no, actually, I'm really invested in Baraccio. I think I relate to him in a way that I'm not going to tell an audience after a screening on the first night. Bullshit!
And you also made this very sexy. This maybe is like...
Yeah, you did.
Would you say that sexy was perhaps somewhere else, and that I brought it, shall we say,
I love it so much.
Yes, I can neither confirm nor deny. No, you know what? To me, I wanted things to play on a very heightened level. It's all happening in this one weekend.
Share right now.
We missed our tagline. There's a ton of drinking. These guys have had a relationship. It's all in this compressed space. It all happens in like a weekend. It is this very intense party, and I wanted to push that, as far as I could, because it made everything more heightened. It made, the betrayals and the bad decisions and the love that, couldn't speak its name even though it should have. It made everything sort of more immediate and personal. And also, sex is sexy. Sex. A lot of people have been like, why did you put sex, in the movie? I'm just like, why did you eat chocolate for dessert? Why did you decide on oxygen for breathing?
Amy, I have to say that your women's speech is one of my absolute favorite on-screen performances that I've ever seen. And it sort of underlines why Beatrice is one of Shakespeare's absolute best women, really, because she's so strong. Because Joss likes to write strong women characters. Did you write this? Holy shit. So, Amy, Amy, for you, as you were tackling that scene especially, what were you sort of wanting to make sure that you were conveying and really getting across?
I mean, luckily for me, I was acting with that guy who, you know, and had that amazing dialogue. I mean, that's kind of the scene when you're reading the play, at least for me as an actress, that I'm like, oh, I want to say that.
And once you've both sort of died in each other's arms, you sort of have a sense of your own chemistry together.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All the feels, all.
But yeah, no, I think we all talked about that being sort of a turning point of the story and wanting it to resonate in that way, but mainly it was just doing it, really.
Is that why I can't stop thinking about Nick Fury?
Coulson's "Oh That I Were a Thor" speech was, we had to cut it. Really moving from the statement.
I think we have time for just a couple questions. So that